The Whiskey Brothers podcast is intended for an adult listening audience. If you find yourself easily offended, I guarantee this will do it.
They don't want no problems, nah.
From Houston, Texas, the Whiskey Brothers podcast starts now.
Welcome, everybody, to the Whiskey Brothers, episode 970. We are on our way. 1,000 will be somewhere towards the end of February, I believe. We are getting ready for that. We have a Christmas show, December 17th. That's a Friday night. That's going to be at the Secret Group here in Houston. Home for the Whiskey Brothers Christmas show for probably the last 4 years or so. So
the 17th?
Whatever the Friday is.
I thought it was the 22nd.
No, it's December 17th.
He moved it?
No.
No, it's the
the
same date it's been
original
since the beginning. Okay, you know what, man? It's we'll talk about it later. I will be there. Past that, I can't make any promises. We raise a glass of Old Humble Distilling Company's Double Oak fucking Rye.
I've never seen Sam with the empty glass.
Cheers. Well, it's going to be for the rest of the episode because he ain't here for a bunch of Whiskey Brothers shit. So,
Yeah, I was like, I'm chilling now.
Jesus Christ. Let's just get into the prompts. Jerry, you had a question. You had a question before the show.
I was just...
Me and you were talking, and
I spent, I was down a while with some surgery and shit, so I binged a bunch of movies, and I was thinking about, I think it tells a lot about maybe a person, but what are your three, like, it don't have to be your favorite movies, but your three favorite moments in movies. Moments that made you, like, go, fuck. You know what I mean? Like
this is going to be very telling because good Will Loden is sitting in for Trey Tutson, who has been in that seat for, I didn't realize this, almost half of the existence of the podcast. He goes back to like 400 or 500 or 600. It's an insane amount of time he's been around. He's kicking ass. He's up in Seattle at the International Comedy Competition. By the time this episode comes out, he will probably be right in the middle of winning night number 2, I think, or 3. Right. It kicks off again on Wednesday.
Making a tidy sum on DoorDash.
We will see. There you go. He's,
shut up, Jerry. Sorry.
You fat ass motherfucker.
That was good. Yeah. That was really good.
I've had it with this
I felt it in the seat. It just,
Jerry, I'm going to need you to stop talking shit about me doing DoorDash.
So he's doing well, but you're in his seat. Will Loden, a good friend of the Whiskey Brothers podcast, a regular occurrent on a lot of things that we do.
Friend of the club.
And you will be on Silly Hats, a brand new podcast coming out under our network very, very soon. But as you sit in the seat, we'll get to know you a little bit better as we talk about favorite movie moments. Not favorite movies. That's a...
just three moments.
Okay.
One or two of them could be from the same movie if you want.
All right.
3 moments.
No, we're going to let you sit.
In no particular order, okay? So, this is just coming off of my brain with this wonderful ride.
I just want to see if anybody hits mine.
Let's all do one around and
we'll do
see.
One.
Okay. Legends of the Fall. When
it ended.
I love that movie. No.
Me too,
when
fucking
Anthony Hopkins pulls that big shotgun out of the bearskin, I think that's cool as shit.
That's fair.
I like that scene where Brad Pitt comes through the woods with his hair.
Oh yeah, with all the scalps and everything. Yeah, that's another great. That's number 2.
I thought you were riding on the horse with the wind blowing in the.
What if I just keep
like
saying Legends of the Fall?
Okay, so
yeah.
All right, that's strong.
Yeah,
that's strong. How about you, Sam?
I'm gonna give you one, and if one of you two doesn't have this, I'm gonna be sorely disappointed. The end of The Departed, when Matt Damon walks in there and Mark Wahlberg's in there with those plastic bags on his shoes.
Yeah.
And he tries to, hey, man, look. And Mark Wahlberg, no words, boom, blast in the fucking face and kills that piece of shit. It was a great movie leading all the way up to that. But when you see that motherfucker finally get that gangster justice and get it right in the fucking mouth,
puts it over the top.
Oh, God,
that's fair.
That's what made Best Picture.
Yeah,
that moment right there.
It's the cherry on the whipped cream on the ice cream. I got you on that.
Right.
When Sarah Silverman gets punched in the face at the beginning of The Way of the Gun.
Yes.
Now, is that your favorite movie moment for any particular reason?
I started at the top. Yeah, that's the because Sarah Silverman gets punched in the face. That's the. I don't want to. I don't think I need much more of a reason.
I don't have a problem with Sarah Silverman, but her character in that moment.
Bro,
I mean, if somebody made a movie about Sarah Silverman getting punched in the face, would you have a new favorite moment?
But here's the thing. I go back and forth on Sarah. I dislike a lot of her, but then also there's moments that are very endearing. And then she was also in one episode of Star Trek Voyager, like in 1996. There's a whole different. There's reasons why I could get behind Sarah Silverman, but that character in the way.
Yeah, because you want. How many times have you dated that girl who wants to start the fight?
30 of her. It was just. I needed the archetype to get punched in the face, and Sarah had it in her purse.
I can't believe I didn't even think of that. But you were right. That was.
It will help you understand my second moment when I get to it.
Yeah, I won't start at the top, but I will. This is one of my three. Is and it's Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and it's Yondu and the Mary Poppins moment.
Oh yeah, that's cute. Yeah,
it's a
Mary
fucking
Poppins,
great. It's a great moment. Yeah. Is he cool? That's a great fucking line. Mary Poppins, y'all.
Sorry.
Is he cool?
That was nice, but he may have been your father, but I'm your daddy.
Yeah. And all the way into the Ravager's funeral. It's all beautiful.
Yeah.
But
God.
But that Mary Poppins
the
moment
Yondu
is
storyline is wonderful.
That's a heartbreaker.
We see they actually cared.
That's an underrated character.
I just love it. Is he cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool, man.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Michael Rooker is so excellent.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, what's your next one, Will?
This is just something that will make me laugh every single time that that I see it. Sometimes I'll watch it when I'm feeling really sad. It's at the beginning of the movie Old School when Luke Wilson's coming down from the airport and he gets into the back of the cab and the seatbelt's not working and he goes, "Excuse me, sir, my seatbelt's not working. What do you recommend I do?" And then this fat, mean cabbie turns around and goes, "I recommend you stop being such a faggot. You're in the back seat." And it makes me pee myself laughing every single time. I know it's not appropriate or apropos. That movie came out.
You
and
said that to me when I got in your car.
But it makes me laugh every single time, like without fail.
Totally fair.
Well, I mean, I hate to do this after you do something that was so funny.
Yeah.
When Denzel gets whipped for desertion in the movie Glory.
Oh, yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot.
When he just fucking takes that bull whip and he refuses to scream. And he just sits there and those tears start falling down the eyes. And then they whip him for desertion. And they were like, yeah, he's trying to lead the war. And afterwards, Morgan Freeman was like, he went to go get shoes. Yeah. And they're like, what? And he goes, you give us shitty shoes. And then Matthew Broderick looks at their feet and then gives them all shoes and finds out that they really wanted to fight the war, but they didn't want to do it in bad shoes. But when Denzel's getting whipped in the movie Glory, like, I almost want to cry now. Like, that's one of the most powerful things I've ever seen.
Can you bring us back from the depths of
Please.
slavery?
You asked for my favorite.
Yeah, no, this is
funny.
I agree wholeheartedly.
And y'all all agree that it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, it's an amazing. Yeah,
I think I can fix this. The end of Old Yeller.
Fuck you!
I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
I know you were joking.
You're just happy when Shane runs away too. Fuck you.
No, the scene in This Is the End when Michael Cera dies. That is my second favorite movie moment because fuck him too.
My favorite line in This Is the End was when Craig Robinson comes out and Aziz Ansari, he's like, help me. He goes, you already in the hole, whatever. And then he walks inside and goes, I tried to save Aziz. That's the best part of the whole movie. I tried to save Aziz.
Yeah, that's J-Dub, do you? And then I'm going to run to a couple of these from the chat before we go to our final one.
My number 2 is a sad one, too. It's
great.
It's Tombstone. But it's when Bill Paxton dies.
Oh, yeah.
And he's laying there, and he looks at it and goes, you know why, when I tell you about all that stuff about the light, there ain't no such thing. There ain't no light. They lied. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I do. There is a light from
Yeah.
My favorite part of Tombstone is, if you've ever loved me, if you've ever cared about me, you'll get that actress and you will leave and never come back. Oh, yeah. That's the best part of Tombstone.
Damn. Are you kidding me? Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer is the fuck off. I'm dying.
That's one of those movies when I'm sick, I put it on and I just rewatch it.
Man.
Well, the thing is,
when him and that one guy get into the Latin fight and then he starts twirling teacups, I'm like, ah!
All
thing
the
is, like,
quotable.
they'll
I
play
have
it on-
yet
they'll play it on
begun
AMC
to
and
defile
shit.
myself.
Didn't that
Yeah,
happen?
that's the best one.
The Battle of the OK Corral happened on like April 12th or something like that. I remember that because when I was working at a brewery in Memphis, we would always have Tombstone Day where we would eat a bunch of Tombstone pizzas and watch Tombstone.
That sounds like
kill
the way-
ourselves.
That sounds like the way people in Tennessee would.
The other line I loved the most in Tombstone was, "You look like death on Dover. Why are you even out here?" "Because Wyatt Earp is my friend." "Well, I got a lot of friends."
I don't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or he's like, is he going to walk on water next?
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Say when.
Yeah.
I'm your Huckleberry.
I'm your Huckleberry. Yeah.
There we go. All right.
And
Pulp-
then the funny thing is, Val Kilmer ended up dying of
Yeah,
dying
yeah.
from a respiratory disease.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it's not funny,
tuberculosis.
but it's like, wow,
Pulp
your
Fi-
greatest role, and you really lived it.
Yeah.
Wait, he's still alive, right?
Yeah, he's still
Yeah,
alive.
but he's dying
Oh.
from a respiratory disease.
Oh, no. He recovered. He's okay.
He is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whew,
I
y'all,
met him.
He's in a new
Seattle.
he's in a new mafia movie, man.
I met him in Seattle, and he was in bad shape.
he went
and,
through a rough
y'all
patch.
he
scared
was
me
really,
for a
really
second.
nice to me.
I was sitting there going, no, Val Kilmer's
No, he's
still
not dead.
alive.
I said
Ooh.
dying from.
Yeah.
No, I met
Well,
him.
how would you hear that?
He got trach cancer.
He ended up dying from.
Oh no, I said he was
That's.
dying from.
I'm just
Which
glad
means
Val
he was
Kilmer's
still
alive.
Me too.
Yeah, no. He
That's
was
all.
he was really really
Y'all
nice.
scared
to
me.
I felt bad
Don't be
because
fucking with the
I was
Iceman.
outside the club smoking a cigarette, and he walks up going, and I was like, "I'm so sorry." He goes, "It's okay." And he,
Can I have one?
He was super cool, but it was
Daniel Landry says Pulp Fiction when Vince shoots Marvin in the face, then
Yeah.
nonchalantly says, "Oh shit, I shot Marvin in the face." My Cake Day, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy when the president steals the girl in the party room. Hang on, are you typing with your foot? What's going on? when the president steals the girl in the
I said, fuck at
in the
end.
party room. All right. Joe Breda does say the Darth Vader scene at the end of Rogue One. That's a strong.
That's a strong one.
That's a strong
oh
move.
yeah, that's a
That
solid
was
ring in.
That was a
solid ring in.
that was a cheer-worthy moment. Absolutely
That was
cheer-worthy.
like before I was able to get a boner. If I would have been able to do one at 9, it would have been it. Like that was. You finally saw why everybody's so scared of this motherfucker.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just
Yep.
lays waste with no effort.
Right.
Yep.
Ugh.
Oh, Zed's
Sick.
dead, baby. Where's Zed? Zed's
I was about
dead,
to say
baby.
the shooting Marvin in the face doesn't rank in my top 10.
In that
moments
Even
of
Pulp
Pulp
Fiction movies? Yeah.
I
moments,
gotta
yeah.
find out what a $5 milkshake tastes like. That's one of gangster lines.
Dude, to be honest, the Royale with cheese conversation at the beginning of Pulp Fiction, because of the nature, this wasn't a thing. People didn't start movies with dumb conversations like that and it all be dialogue driven. Like that conversation by itself might be one of the best moments in that entire movie.
I was so
You give her
hoping they were gonna make
$5,000,
that
I'm gonna
movie
shoot that
about
bitch in
two
the head
brothers.
right fucking now.
That's
That
yep.
old movie.
the restaurant robbery was like this $5,000 one. Vince, Jules, you give her $5,000, I'll shoot this bitch in the face right fucking now. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's
Say, bitch, be cool. Bitch, be cool.
Be cool, honey bunny. Be cool.
No, say, bitch, be cool.
what so let's move it around. Let's get to number
Will?
3.
I like there's this movie 500 Days of Summer with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Zooey Deschanel, and there's a scene where
God damn you, young.
he is explaining how he saw a couple of their interactions go. And I really like that scene because I hate both of those fucking characters so goddamn much. Like, it's one of those things where, like, you're like, wow, this director did such a good job. Like, he's a spineless little piece of shit. And she's super manipulative, and they're all just terrible people. And then there was a voiceover at the end, and it was really cool. But I really thought that scene was awesome just because I was like, how do you make... There's no good person in this.
500 Days of Summer. What was that about? Is it like a surf movie?
It was
Like a
Joseph.
summer-
It was Joseph Gordon-Levitt dated Zooey Deschanel for her name was Summer in the movie, and they dated for like a year and a half, or I guess 500 days, so like a year and a half ish. And he thought that it was going great, and she dumped him. And then so it's like it's fascinating film. I left infuriated because I hate
That sounds miserable.
I have been trying to think of his name for a week.
yeah.
Thank you for saying it. I kept telling Rachel, the little white guy with the weird name. And she was like, which one? And I was like, I don't know. You know the one. He's got
Michael
the weird
Cera.
old name.
Yeah, just keep
All right, fine. My favorite scene is in Jurassic Park when Newman gets roof.
I've never seen Jurassic Park. When he thinks he's gonna get away with the eggs.
Okay, that's fair.
Fuck you and your art house shit, Will. You didn't even explain that well.
The white guy with the weird name, Woody Allen.
Yeah.
What?
I am in Trey's seat. Should I talk about Annie Hall or something like that?
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Should.
What about you?
Man, I was torn between two, and I've got to go with one. But I'll give you the runner-up real quick. The movie Malcolm X, when Denzel is on his way, when Malcolm's on the way to get shot, and Denzel's just standing there stone-faced, and a change is going to come and playing in the background, and you know he's about to get fucking shot. I'm watching one of the greatest actors in the world walk to his death to the greatest song ever made. But I think what's got to get it to me, just because of how it impacted my life and it scared me for a decade. Halloween, 1978. There's a part where she attacks Michael Myers and he's down for the count. She thinks she's killed him. She's leaned up against this thing and there's a dark room behind her. And then from the darkness, you just see that white mask emerge. And I had nightmares about that from age 5 to 15. And it was such a fucking terrifying moment in cinema that I base all horror movies. My bar for a horror movie
is
if you can top that, if you can't even come close to that, your movie sucks dick.
This is why
So
I don't
the thing that
understand.
scarred you for 10 years?
Yes.
If it doesn't reach that's like the high watermark,
Yeah,
right? Like
you can't scar me for at least 11 years.
Will, I've been
Amityville
stabbed.
Horror.
I jump out of planes.
Yeah.
I fuck white women with daddy issues.
That's
I
not a
like being
horror film.
scared.
You're living your
I
own.
like being scared.
You're living your best life.
I
Seth.
want George Romero to stab me.
Bro, it's. I mean, well, you don't like horror movies, and I don't think you really.
Well,
do
no,
either.
because of that.
Because they
But
scared
yeah,
the shit out of me for 10
and-
years.
But the thing is, I like that it's the goal of a horror movie is to scare the shit out of you, and it's when you do something that well, it's like watching somebody succeed at their job that fucking well. I'm just like, man, I appreciate the motherfucking effort, and if you can't beat that scene from 1978, you made a bullshit ass movie.
You know what horror movie pissed me off? Because when I was a kid, I saw It, and it scared the shit out of me, and I
Which
didn't
movie?
finish watching it. It.
I think
Oh.
everybody,
Miniseries? Yeah.
everybody who's afraid of
So
clowns
I didn't
today.
finish. I didn't finish
that-
watching it, and then years later, as an adult, I happened to catch the end of it with that stupid scorpion thing, and I was like, "God damn it! If I'd have finished this 10 years ago, I would have been
garbage.
freaked out about shit for 10 years."
My cousin made me watch Deep Blue Sea when I was I know it's like a bullshit CGI like
You know
like,
what though? Here's the thing. Here's why that movie was so good. There was a weird brief moment in the late '90s or whenever that early 2000s, whenever that
was late 90s. Yeah,
when
yeah,
they
yeah.
would cast stars to be in movies and then kill them early.
Samuel L. Jackson.
But you also had it was a Steven Seagal film where he was Air Force One or something. He was on it and then he gets sucked. He's dead like in the first 20 minutes. And you're like, this is and then they got
It's
me
a
with
cool
Deep Blue
mi-
Sea,
yeah.
and it was Thomas Jane and I guess LL Cool J survived towards the end.
By the way, I just realized like my honorable mention was Denzel in Malcolm X, and then the other was Denzel in Glory. I was like, I could do a top 10 and make it all Denzel moments.
Oh, definitely.
And Book of Eli still never make it.
No,
You
Book
really
of
not like
wouldn't
Book of
make it.
Eli? I love
But-
Book of Eli.
But dude, John Q, when he said there's no bullets in this gun, I was never gonna kill anybody.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding
Man
me?
on fire.
I just
Man
watched
on
a-
fire. When he burns that
whole
dude's
movie.
fingers with the cigar lighter, and he gets done, and he goes, "On to the next world for you, my friend." Yep, it just runs up.
Training day where he's like, you've been smoking PCP all day.
I didn't know you
shot
like
a
to
guy,
get
you
wet.
fucking do it." He's like-
American Gangster, where he throws where he puts the tip jar down next to Idris Elba after he shoots him in the head. All right,
Oh,
we're just
we
gonna
could-
talk about
we-
Denzel
we
for the
could
rest
do-
of the.
Yeah,
What's your number
because he's
three
the greatest
slate?
that's
Does it
ever
have a
fucking
Denzel?
done it. Go on.
All right, so my number 3.
Who gets punched in this one?
I don't know, but it's Denzel.
It's a butterfly effect when Ashton Kutcher gets his
Hurricane.
arm blowed off.
Hurricane. There it is. Fuck, I was trying to get to the boxing movie in my head, and I just couldn't get past Will Smith. All right, this would be my so The Princess Bride.
Oh.
Could be a lot of moments in this movie. Could be a lot. We could talk about them.
Well, The Princess Bride has everything.
It does have everything.
So it literally, yeah.
So now-
it can
now-
make you cry. It can make you laugh. It has cool fights.
There are kissing parts.
It has Andre the fucking
It
Giant.
has
Yeah.
Andre the Giant. This is the greatest.
Who's the guy with the lisp? What's his name again?
Wallace Shawn.
But Fellini is inconceivable. Yeah, that's the. So,
What's
those,
the
your
line?
Highness, are the shrieking eels. So let me think about the.
Is it the line that you use more than anything else?
No.
wow.
Wait, what? Which? No, it is not. Because,
Yeah, because you use that
when he
line
goes-
more than.
you keep using that word. It does not mean what you think it means.
You use that line more than anybody on
I
the
do.
planet.
But the greatest scene in that movie is when he's laying there on the bed, and Prince Humperdinck comes running into the room, and he can't move. And he goes, "I challenge you to the death." And he goes, "No, to the pain." That scene is the greatest. It is so goddamn good.
That's the best part of the movie.
To the pain. What do you mean? To the pain. He goes, it means first I remove your ears, then your nose. And he works his way down. He goes, then your arms at the elbows and your hands at the wrists. He goes, and then your feet at the ankles. It's the ears he leaves. He goes, and then my ears, I suppose. He goes, no, your ears I leave. So that every hideous scream from every man, woman, and child that sees your form lying on the street will be yours to cherish forever.
Good call. Good
Bro,
call.
and then he drops his sword and he runs out of that room, and that is and he goes, you don't have the strength to stand. He goes, perhaps I do, and he stands up just barely. Dude, that is the most fighting without fighting moment in the history of cinema, and God bless
That's I'll Eat
Carly
Your Eye.
Elwes.
So Slade-
Yes.
I'll eat your eye. That's the first version of I'll
Slade.
eat your eye. That is
From our friendship, from the day I've met you, and I feel, and you're gonna feel shitty that neither of us included this moment. Artax dying.
Man, that is the. If we were just gonna do sad moments, if I
Yeah,
wanted to
I mean,
one up y'all,
I was just
Artax
trying to say
dying.
your favorite, the one that, like,
Because it sticks with you. When you
Yeah.
say favorite, like, dude, Denzel getting whipped in glory, there's nothing happy about that shit.
no.
But
That's
sticking
the same
with
thing,
you,
Bill
sticking
Paxton
with you,
dying, it's just, it's a beautiful thing when he's like, it's all bullshit.
when that
There ain't
horse
no
went
lie.
under the mud,
Oh yeah.
worst day of my fucking 5-year-old
I
life.
don't think I've recovered from that.
I
That
don't-
might be, and I'm not saying that intimacy. Me and intimacy are distant, right? Like,
Right.
it might be because of that goddamn horse.
Tell me more. Tell me.
It was my first
Yeah.
exposure to emotional fucking pain.
Absolutely
It
might
was
be
so
that
bad.
horse.
Jared, are you familiar with this scene in the Never? This is the Never.
I'm
Ending
a piss
yeah,
you
yeah,
off
yeah,
because
yeah.
I've never watched that.
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Okay, so listen. We'll do the whole.
I know all the movie.
Nope,
My
but we're-
sister would watch it.
Doesn't
over
matter.
And over,
Doesn't
over
matter.
Again.
You're about to learn it again. It starts out with this dumb little kid who finds a book, right? Because he's getting his ass whooped, and then he runs up and he goes and he hides in this stupid attic where it's raining and there's a wolf head, and then he's, oh no, we've got to save the sandwich or some dumb shit. But he's basically
He
flipping
gets
through.
sucked into the book.
Yeah.
There's a racing snail. This is important, right? There's a racing
A
snail.
stupid bat and a rock biter.
There is a stupid bat. They used to be such strong hands, and then the rocks fall, and it's
And
a
a flying
racing
dog.
snail. It's not a flying dog. It's a fucking
luck dragon.
Thank you. So,
Yeah.
It looks like
His
like
name
a
is
Labrador
Falcor.
with
You
a
would put
tail
some fucking
flying.
respect on it.
yeah, you put some respect on Falcor. And
Goddamn right.
get with us or get the fuck
Oh
out.
no. Hey,
Listen. So
Team Falcor all day.
so he has Atreyu, who's he's the
Yeah,
hunter of
I
the
know
purple
Atreyu
buffalo.
is, yeah.
Don't cut me off. Some people may not.
Atreyu is basically Bastion's spirit animal.
Right,
Yeah.
which I don't know if we can say that anymore. So it's his physical his spiritual represent.
It's who he identifies most with in the book.
It's his spirit animal. So he's
There you go.
Atreyu has to go save the
princess.
the what's her name? But it's the something princess. It's the she has a different name. Anyway,
We
long,
don't find that out until the very end.
long story short,
Yeah.
bunch of shit happens.
Atreyu lives with his best friend,
His
and
horse.
confidant, and his savior, Artax, the horse.
Yeah, Artax
This
the
ain't
horse.
the flying dog.
No,
No,
that's
Bastion's.
God damn.
I'm just making sure. I just wanted to keep it straight. You
I
know?
understand.
There's a turtle. There's a big turtle too. It's allergic to.
Falcor only becomes Adrian's spirit and
to
when-
humans. We've been here 1,000 years. Humans wanna see the Southern Oracle. All right,
I would say this is a
the
play
turtle
off of
sounds
J.R.
like me.
Tolkien's Ints.
I
and
feel
then
certain I'm never
Peter
going to
Jackson
watch this movie now.
reappropriated that into his into
The turtle sounds like me when
When
I'm
my
around
kids
fresh
ask
cut
me
grass.
about it, I'm just going to give them Slade's version.
No,
Look,
no.
There's
So,
a flying dog, a horse dies, there's a fucking turtle that don't like
so
people.
his best friend, they're walking through the swamps of sadness, Jerry, and the swamps of sadness are like they're sad.
So
It's-
Sounds like
If
a
you
shitty
get
place.
sad, you sink in quicksand and you die.
Sounds
so
like
you
a
have
good
to just
runner-up
steal
for
your
a name
nerves.
for Louisiana.
And a trio steals his nerves. But the horse gets sad and starts to sink.
And he-
he's trying to get him. And he's like, just don't let the sadness take over you, Artex. Don't worry, it's all good.
He's
And
half-assing it.
Artex
Don't
just-
give in to the sadness, Ortex!
I can't sell it or I'm a cry. In these fucking glasses.
Move, you stupid horse!
in these
Move
new
or
glasses.
Move or you'll die, you stupid horse! It's dude.
fucking
And then
die.
he, glue, 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 glue. Move, you horse! Move! And then gloop, 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 gloop. Then the horse dies.
And then Atreyu is sad, and he's hiding in a tree because he's so sad. If he falls, he's going to get sucked into it. And the Falco, the luck dragon, comes down and picks him up and goes, nope, I got you, homie.
Yeah.
And he goes,
Yeah,
because
'cause
he's
why wouldn't a flying Labrador be happy?
exact one is a cocker spaniel, but it's white. It's
Damn
like
right.
it's an albino cocker spaniel. It's like
And he's the best movie sidekick
I watched
ever.
that. I watched that movie when I was like 5 years old. At it was my first spend the night at my buddy Davy Donahue's house, and it smelled like Kirkland dryer sheets. And
So specific.
yeah, well, like sometimes you just smell smells that just remind you of weird stuff. You're like, oh, that guy moved to Marietta, Georgia in second grade, and I never saw him again.
and he has to fight the Gamork,
Yeah,
which is like,
yeah.
oh my god! And he finds out that the princess's name is Moonchild. There's so much 80s to this.
Now
and
I'm just remembering Davey. Davey had a weird Tourette's thing where he would go.
This sounds like the song "Those Are People Who Die." Like Davey had a weird Tourette's thing, and then I watched it. And never in the story at this guy's house. Those are all my friends, and they died.
It sounds like somebody watched part of Labyrinth and part of The Princess Bride.
No, but
and
this-
just started mixing shit up.
I think this
Is Fred Savage in this one too?
this
Yes.
Fuck.
Fred Savage was in a lot of things in the 80s, Jerry.
none of them were women.
I was alive for him. I remember.
You have to see, because he has to go see the Southern Oracle, and then he thinks and then Falcor saves him, and he's like, the Southern Oracle's 10,000 miles away.
He's not gonna make it.
He's not gonna make it.
He made it. God,
Oh,
I knew it.
Tremendous.
yeah. Oh
Oh, you
God,
don't fucking know.
Jerry, you gotta go. You got. If you don't go home, listen to me. If you don't go home and watch this for the first time with your children,
High as fuck. Just get high as fuck and just watch
and
it.
just put one kid under each arm, and y'all all watch this together.
Don't even watch the movie. Watch your children's face.
Will
Watch
you
the,
please
watch
do-
the magic happen.
Listen to me, because it's
Jerry,
old
what I'm saying is that this rye whiskey has notes of nostalgia. And,
Well, I can assure you that Rachel has watched this movie with him because she feels the same way about it.
yeah.
Oh, you gotta do this,
Fucking
man.
incredible, Jerry.
You absolutely have to. This is mandatory. This is one of the. This is yes, and I want you to watch it with the kids, not by yourself. You'll hate it's. This is a.
No,
Because
this-
when
this
I brought
is-
up
this is a
Artax, you
family
were like,
thing.
you were like, let's not do sad moments in movies. And I'll do this. This guy, to his credit, he's had it coming. He's never teased me for it. When we went and saw Where the Wild Things Are, when the kid left the island and they were saying goodbye, I cried like a fucking baby, and he never busted my balls for it.
Real
'Cause
shit there.
he was holding it back. I know he was holding it
That's
back.
not, no.
I let it fucking go. I'm in the theater just
Real, to be perfectly honest, I absolutely would have cried, but I'm a sociopath.
And he probably looked over me and was like, he's doing enough for both of us. I lost my fucking shit.
It
I would-
literally looked like we were in a Riley Reid video.
Oh, it was that. And I didn't want to. I was like, I can't believe what the fuck is wrong with me?
My
God, it
third
was
movie
terrible.
choice seems really fucking lame now. 'Cause it's not,
I thought you already did yours.
Oh no, you're last. Yeah, that's.
Oh, my bad.
this is my top, and I'll tell you this is my top movie moment of all time, and I am a hillbilly, and it checks.
I knew it was gonna be some good.
This is going to be a banjo scene from a river.
No.
All right.
No, is this the
This
gunfight
checks
at the
a
end
lot
of Good, Bad, and the Ugly?
Can we guess?
No.
Can we all take like at least
Everybody
a guess
take
or
one
two?
guess.
Mine was Deliverance.
I was Good, Bad, and the Ugly because
I was gonna go Our Brother, Where Art Thou? When the Whirly Daughters were walking by singing "In the highways, in the hedges."
No,
That's
but
not even the best part of that movie.
The John
Sling
Goodman
Blade.
scene.
John
in that
Goodman
movie.
Sling Blade. Sling
No, that's
Blade.
my favorite movie, but it's not.
I
about
know,
that.
that's why I said it.
No. So I'll tell you, it's the movie 3,000 Miles to Graceland.
Yep. Oh
and
yeah,
it's
you
the
told me.
very end.
I've never
It's
seen
you
where
it.
recognize
Kevin
me now?
Costner. They find out, when Kevin Costner's staring in that mirror and all the laser lights are on him. If I go out one day, I guarantee you in my headphones, it's going to be Elvis singing My Way and me with a big fucking gun taking out some motherfuckers on the way out. Because that is a beautiful. When he looks in that mirror, he goes, "Do you recognize me now, you son of a bitch?" And you find out after he's died that he is one of Elvis' kids.
But when
Like-
you said 3,000 Miles to Graceland, I was like, you can only be talking about one moment.
Yeah.
One of two.
I love the whole
Ice-T
flick, but-
upside down with those Uzis. is
And,
pretty-
clearly, I love Kurt Russell flicks because all three of my moments come from Kurt Russell flicks.
Oh wow!
Well,
Guardians
I-
of the Galaxy 2,
Yeah.
Tombstone.
Yeah.
you
3,000
snuck that
miles
first.
to
You snuck that
Graceland.
first one in on us.
Yeah.
Look, I almost did it with all Denzel flicks.
I didn't realize it until I was talking about Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and I was like, "Fuck, that's a Kurt
Kurt's
Russell
in
flick
that too.
too."
Yep.
So I've never seen 3,000 Miles to Graceland.
Okay, Kurt Russell. It's the first time
this
I
the
ever
one where-
saw Kevin Costner play a bad guy, and he is a dirty
Oh,
motherfucker.
yeah, he's a
He
fucking
is
sleaze.
vile.
I
Courtney
assume.
Cox has never been hotter in her life than she was in this movie.
I
Smoking. She's a
assume
traitor.
Elvis comes into play here.
Well, what it is,
Four
these
Elvis
guys are bank
impersonators.
robbers, and they're all Elvis impersonators.
It's a heist movie.
Yeah, and
They rob a casino.
rob a casino in a beautiful, brutal way, and of course they all
And then it all falls to shit.
But Kevin Costner, turns out they do this. There's this FBI guy chasing them down, and at the end he's like, we were going through all these paternity records and stuff, and about 10 years ago they did a thing at the Presley where you came up and said, "Hey, I think I'm a result of one of his indiscretions."
Because all these people came up
And,
and said that they were Elvis'
and
kids.
this guy shares like 90% DNA with Elvis Presley. And,
Wait, what's 90% DNA mean?
I was about
it's
to
a
make
movie
that
line.
joke too. That means
it's
that
a
means
movie line,
That means he
Means
fucked.
he's
That means
Elvis- he's Elvis's
Elvis is 50%, and then one of Elvis's cousins. Then Elvis fucked a cousin. or
Elvis
something.
and Terry Presley gangbanged his mom.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
gave him 90%.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Courtney Cox. But Kevin Costner is a
good
bad guy.
movie.
It's Kevin Costner is a bad guy, and when this
He's a
it's
piece
like
of
he was
shit.
waiting for years for somebody to go, "Hey, will you play a villain?" Fuck yes.
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
Been working
He's
on this.
he's a soulless, heartless piece
And
of
his
shit.
right hand man is Ice-T.
yeah.
When did this come out?
1997?
Oh, so at this point he's been
99.
Robin Hood and
Yeah.
whatever that thing was
He's
from
been
Waterworld.
every-
No,
good
no,
guy
no.
ever.
Robin Hood was first. Robin Hood was before
Robin
that.
Hood-
Yeah, this
Robin
is
Hood.
way
Said.
Jesus
after
was
Robin.
before that. Yeah. He's been the hero for all this time. But 3,000 Miles to Graceland.
This is
I-
after
I-
Waterworld, The Postman, all
Right.
that shit.
It's right after Waterworld.
Yeah.
Not after the Dane Cook movie.
No.
I don't remember
That
that.
was,
I don't
that was
know
Mr.
one.
Brooks, where he was a serial killer.
Oh, okay, so I hadn't
This is
seen that.
this
I
is
never saw-
before Mr. Brooks.
He was in a movie when he was young called Revenge, where he's kind of he's not the good guy, but he's not really a bad guy.
But it's morally ambiguous
He's
because
just
it's
kind of a motherfucker.
He's
Yeah.
a 70s anti-hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Revenge is pretty good, but his character in 3,000 Miles of Grace. I mean, like I said, it's this last scene. He's in a warehouse and he's looking in the mirror and he's got this M60 and he's loading it up and the FBI have him surrounded. And
They have
red
laser sights
lights.
all over him, and they're
The
just about to
little
light him up.
dots are
Yeah.
Can't believe I
all
didn't.
around him.
Yeah.
And you hear Elvis singing "My Way," and he's looking at the mirror and he goes, "You see me now, you son of a
You
bitch."
recognize me now, you son of
And
a
he
bitch.
turns around and just goes to fucking town, him and Ice-T.
And gets lit the fuck up.
Yeah. But he takes a bunch of motherfuckers out on the way
Yeah,
out.
he does. He
Right.
does.
Ice-T does this stupid thing where he swings in.
It was a
upside down
Cirque
by
du
his feet,
Soleil. It was a
spinning
Cirque.
around with Uzis shooting people, and he of course gets killed really quick.
Jerry, I would like to call that an
Yeah,
homage
they-
to Cirque du Soleil within Vegas.
I'm just saying, if I ever crack,
Oh yeah.
that's my way out.
As soon as you said 3,000 Miles to Graceland, I was like, Do you recognize me now? I knew exactly which
I
moment.
remember watching the
There's
movie
one
theater
moment in
getting
that movie.
chills like, oh, he knows he's Elvis's kid. Oh, my God. It checks a lot of boxes for a hillbilly kid.
Yeah.
No doubt at
I
all.
wanted to be Elvis's
It was good.
grandson, you know.
It was
I like
fun.
M60s.
Wait, hang
I love
on.
his song.
Is there at any point in Jerry Wayne's history where you had a private thought, like, or a hope where you were like,
Are you
maybe,
kidding
maybe
me?
I'm
I
related
didn't know
to
who
Elvis?
my maternal grandfather was until about 4 years ago, and my mom is the only dark-haired member of the family, and my grandmother had a reported affair with Elvis, one of the many women. She was very hookery. She had an affair with Elvis in Tyler,
Me and Jerry have
Texas
discussed
at
this
the
a lot
Old
while
Palace.
doing drywall.
Grandmas
And
be
so
like that.
When I did my Ancestry.com, there was this little piece of me that just kept hoping that, like,
Maybe
I was gonna
my
get-
granddad's from Tupelo, Mississippi.
I was going to get home from work, and the limo was going to be sitting out there, going to be like, "You're one of us.
Now
Come
hang
on
on.
home," you know.
Maybe
Give me a room in the
you
Grayson.
are. Maybe you got to imagine that the Elvis estate has scrubbed
Yeah,
him
well, it turns
from.
out it was just a white trash drunk from East Texas.
Oh well,
but
there's.
found the guy.
We all
wasn't
gotta be
exciting.
We all got to be something.
Can I give you one more movie moment? And it's we've been talking about the classics and our favorites.
Yeah, let's talk.
But this is very new, and it just stuck with me. Jojo Rabbit, when he looks over and sees his mom's shoes.
Oh yeah.
Still haven't seen it.
Yeah. Jojo. Oh, that's a good one.
It's one of the greatest movies ever made.
Well,
It's
I
a great
didn't
flick.
know. I didn't know who Taco Waikiki
Well,
was until
It's-
Thor.
you know, it's like 8 Mile. It's a guy playing himself, kinda.
I'm in on that. But here's the
Yeah.
thing: I'm enrolled in him, like, so I'm cool
Yeah.
with that.
When he
It's-
looks
it's
over and sees his
incredible.
mom's shoes. Fuck.
Well, you said Sling Blade, and for me, Sling Blade is when Homeboys. There's so many great flicks, but that scene where he comes down and he sits down by the kid and he says, "I just kind of want to put my arm around you for a minute, and then I'm gonna leave on out of here." And it's that and in the lawnmower when everybody's like, "You doing it? You checking points?" That's what my brother. Every time my brother's car breaks down, he's like, "Man, my car's fucking. You checking points?"
When he walks in, he goes, "What are you going to do with that lawnmower?" Like, reckon I'm going to kill you with it. There's
And
that.
Doyle said to send a Hearst.
But come on. The best moment in Sling, but everybody get the fuck out right now.
Yeah.
Get the fuck. When he grabs that guy in the wheelchair and
just
shoves him
throws
into
him
the
off.
fucking door, get the fuck out. And when that kid picks up soup cans and just starts whipping him,
Books.
it's why he goes his fucking head.
It looks
And
like
I
it is
hate
the most
you. I
insane
hate you.
scene I've ever seen.
I hate
It's
you
just-
too, you little shit. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
You know how I get when I'm hurting, Linda? The first time I saw it, look, I was raised around abusive fucking redneck drunks. And the first time I saw that movie was like, watch that movie. I was watching one of them. And when he says that thing, you know how I get when I'm hurting, Linda? I was like, oh my God, how many times I have an Aunt Linda? I've heard that.
But when he's
That's been
whipping,
said.
when he's whipping shit at his fucking head,
It looks
and
like a tornado
When
of
he hits
shit
him with a
flying.
dude, his arms are just fucking moving and windmilling. But the best was like, ow, stop, ow, fuck me,
Dwight's a killer in that. He's a
dude.
fucking
Dwight is a better actor than he is an artist.
Have you ever seen the?
I would agree to disagree.
Except,
Yeah.
hey, hold up, 1,000 miles.
Panic
no.
Room,
Nowhere is
Panic
one of the-
Room,
Ones Jr.
when he was a psycho in Panic
I'll
Room.
put Panic Room up against 1,000 miles from nowhere any
Yeah.
day of the week.
Yeah,
When he was the psycho in Panic Room, are you kidding me? Dwight
you
Yoakam?
never seen Painted Hero, where he plays a rodeo clown. He's amazing in Painted
Dwight
Hero.
Yoakam
He's
as
a
a
great
fucking
actor.
villain
I
is
think he's a
fucking
better country
amazing.
musician.
He's also a good yodeler. So
Yeah, there we
there's,
go. There we go. There's
He's-
also that.
He's fucking Buck Owens' prodigy.
Yeah.
it's
what was the song you brought up?
1,000 miles from nowhere.
Oh, fuck that. Fast as you.
Time means nothing
Fast as
to
you
me.
is the
Oh,
Fast as you
vein.
is the twin.
Blame it on the vein.
Yeah.
Is-
Fast as you.
Wait, what?
Blame it on the vein.
If you ever dated a
Blame it on
shitty
the
woman,
vein. So
fast
Dwight
as you
Yoakam
is
did
the-
one of the things nobody ever has done.
A parody song of a Milli Vanilli track?
No. That's funny.
Blame it on the rain.
Dwight Yoakam.
Y'all,
Dwight Yoakam
y'all.
basically stood up when they took the rights to his music and he got fucked out of them. He brought a massive fucking lawsuit against everybody involved, and he spent 10 years fighting it, and he won the son of a bitch.
Right.
And when he got done, the person he was under contract to that he was supposed to release so many albums to, he wrote them and said, hey, wait till you check out this next album. And it's called Blame It on the Vein. So a lot of things people don't know about Dwight Yoakam's when he got to L.A., the redneck bars didn't like him. They said he wasn't country enough for them.
So he did a bunch of punk rock stuff.
So he was playing punk rock bars. So on Blame It on the Vein, he's got a couple songs go back to like Punk Roots and shit. It's incredible. And he pulled the David Bowie. You know, like David Bowie had this terrible fucking contract, and he released all this crazy shit that we love.
Prince's Emancipation.
But the minute he got out of that contract, David Bowie puts out Let's Dance, his most commercially successful album of all time that he had been sitting on.
Yep.
Yeah. Fame and Let's Dance.
Let's Dance is number one.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, Yoakum did the same thing. He put out Blame It on the Fame album, and that song's a killer, man.
If you guys want one more, we're going to talk a little bit more about Old Humble's Double Oak.
We're actually about the halfway point in this Old Humble's Double Oak. It's brought us from nostalgia to country music, so you know it's a good ride.
These are the standards for a good ride, right?
Yeah. It's got undertones of memory.
It's just funny because it's like
when I smell it, I smell a leather belt whipping me.
Because for me, what I was saying, I was like Fast as You or whatever. We've been in bars before, and country songs will come on, and I start singing, and Slade's like, "What have you been hiding from me?"
I mean,
How do you
so
know
that's
this?
I don't know.
It's a necessity.
lots of sex with white women, I'm guessing.
I don't rock the jukebox.
Now he's got the glasses. He can move into some Elvis Costello. So it'll be,
You're going to usurp all the music.
we think we're pumped, but we're not.
I would
Some
walk
other Elvis
500
Costello song.
It is a good double ride. You guys are asking in the chat.
So good.
Absolutely back that. It's a double oak. It's not a double rye.
Yeah, it's double oak.
I'm correcting that before. There you go. Is it a double good rye? Sometimes I read the words in the wrong order. It's not a double rye. It's a double oaked. It's a good double oak rye.
Yeah.
It's good enough. It's going to make me and Slade's filming activities difficult later.
Oh, Jerry, if you knew how I shot the first part, bro, I'm way ahead of where I was the last time we
I
shot.
remember picking you up.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say this bottle's almost gone, and it's not been me. Like
normally,
if it's anything, it's I did it all. But no, this guy, you've done more shots on this podcast than I've seen you do in a long time.
I've been throwing them back.
This shit's really good.
I was super jealous right when the show started. I was like, I want to,
We weren't gonna leave you hanging.
I know.
Goodwill Loden.
He was making up for time lost. You drink a lot, shocker.
Crazy, huh?
I mean,
I watched 5 Purge movies one day when I was hungover. I was like, today I'm just gonna watch all the Purge movies as I'm vomiting. You know,
That's one of my favorite movie moments ever.
the
first one,
yeah.
At the very end, when the girl goes for the gun, she just bashes
Yeah.
it. I said no killing.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Cersei just smashes this woman. So the
Cersei
Purge,
Lannister. Yeah.
So the Purge, you're allowed to kill anybody.
24 hours, no rules.
Yeah.
And so these neighbors decide that they're going to. Ethan Hawke is married to Cersei from Game of Thrones, and they decide that they're going to kill their family for a purge, and they fight them off. Ethan Hawke.
Sorry, I just got this idea. I want to explain this through the different movies that I've seen them in. So the guy from Gattaca is married to the guy from Game of Thrones. And they have 3 kids. One of the kids did a Chex Mix commercial.
But it's like it's over at 7 a.m. and so they end up beating these people. And
Wait, 7? Do you have to go to work the next day?
Yeah.
You just go back to your normal life.
It's 12 hours of crime. It's just
And
12
nobody
hours.
ever really hunts down anybody that wronged them. It's always just fuck it, let's go after these motherfuckers
kill
that
anyone.
were
But hang on.
irritated
So
with
this is before you
But
explain
no,
the.
so
but-
they came.
I have a list.
They came
I
after
would
their
start at
family
7
because they
p.m.
wronged them.
headed to my list.
right, which
So it's 6:55 a.m. They end up beating these people, whatever. And Cersei has a shotgun there, and she took their shotgun, and they're all sitting around the dinner table in her house. She goes, "We're just gonna wait out this 5 minutes. Nobody's killing anybody. Fuck this night. This is bullshit."
Yeah.
At 6:59, one of the ladies goes for the shotgun and still tries to kill Cersei. She takes the shotgun back, bashes her in the head with the butt of it, grabs the back of her head, and spikes it into the table and goes, "I said no killing." And this bitch is just pouring blood out of her fucking face. And then 7 a.m. hits, and now murder is illegal again. And she goes, "Now get the fuck out of my house."
Yeah.
Are
It
pe-
is gangster as fuck.
Are people there to break it up like UFC refs, or
Yeah,
what's
I
the
like-
difference between
No,
6
so
and
there's
9?
no. So here's the. Let me tell you,
701.
the new founding fathers have taken over the country. All right, they have started this thing called the Purge, where all crime is legal, and so vandalism, even up to murder, and it's wild. Now, the guy from Gattaca, he's selling security systems around the rich neighborhoods. So there's a little bit of class underlyingness behind it, right? So this homeless guy, he's sneaking around, and that homeless guy, I think he was in Parks and Rec for a couple of episodes as a guest star. So the homeless guy who was in Parks and Rec is running around, and Chex Mix Boy lets the homeless guy into their house, and then everything goes crazy because these really rich guys and ascots wanted to kill the homeless guy who was in Parks and Rec. And so
They're like, give us the homeless guy and we won't kill you.
yeah, and he says
They won't
no.
kill it to him. And then when the neighbors come to kill them, the homeless guy, because they didn't kill him, he helps them overthrow the
Right.
neighbors.
It seems
Did
like
this movie have Jodie Foster and Dwight Yoakam in it?
that's Panic
That's
Room,
Panic
right? Same thing.
Panic Room, baby.
That's what I'm getting. This is
It's also Dusk Before Dawn. There are a lot of movies where a lot of violence
it
happens. and
seems
it's a
like
bottle episode that you
But
do.
that very end scene where she
Yeah, great.
it just seems like the path of least resistance would be where most people would go. Oh, I got a fence. That's probably they'll just
Yeah.
go to the house with no fence.
Yeah.
That
It
seems
just
like
seems to
Well,
me
so
like you would
the
go
thing
after
is-
some dudes that like
Well-
I have a list. 7 p.m. I'm in the car headed out looking for these son bitches. You know what I mean? Like,
the thing was,
and luckily they're all local. I can get to them.
so.
Ethan Hawke and Cersei, their families sold these security systems, so they lobbied to make the purge legal. So all the rich people had to buy these security systems. So they went to go kill them because they were like, "This is all your fault. We had to spend all this money because you wanted to make this legal." So they
got
went to go
super
kill
wealthy,
them.
yeah.
But
Right,
they got
but
the
how-
awesome security.
How do you get to the 5th movie? Is my question.
Oh,
why
let's
is
see.
it-
All right,
it
so
turns
it goes. One second. Turns out this one that's called Purge Forever.
Give me
And
the-
that one.
No,
all right, let me give you.
Give me the thumbnail.
All right,
The
so
rich people started the Purge to kill
White
the poor
Remember the
people.
Titans coach owns a ranch. White Remember the Titans coach owns a ranch.
This Keanu
And
Reeves, I'm so
his
lost.
His son, knockoff Kevin Bacon, seems kind of racist. And,
Walking the
but
pork.
yeah, no, this is Forever Purge. It happens on a Texas ranch. So the Purge night goes off without a hitch. It's not a big deal. But they go the next day. They try to go home to their
Next year.
They're trying to go home to the ranch or whatever. But
You can do this
everyone's
faster.
still
You go.
purging. Sorry.
Go.
So
Pick it up. You guys are gonna.
as it turns out, the purge was started by the rich. The rich are all locking up in bunkers. They're doing it to kill the poor. And
Yeah, because they don't want to
so
pay for their
then-
health care and stuff.
yeah,
They're so
they
much
wanna pay
easier.
for healthcare, whatever.
Yeah.
So then
Didn't
the
they know
poor,
about COVID?
The poor realize what it is, and they just start making these armies on purge night, and they're just like, "Yo, let's go kill the rich." and,
And then the rich have the security systems, and
because
then
here's the thing: if the poor doesn't kill the poor, the rich are sending in SWAT teams into
Yeah.
project buildings and
Yeah.
just annihilating
Annihilate
poor
it.
people.
Yeah. Unite or survive.
and that comes into play around movie what?
That's two.
Yeah.
Then
Oh,
3 is
boy.
Purge Election Day.
They jumped the
Well,
shark
this
in the movie too.
This
They-
lady
they-
runs
they-
for office saying she wants to get rid of the purge. So the
Because her
rich
parents
people,
got killed on a Purge night in a flashback.
So the rich people assemble a hit squad to
She
take
was
out
in
the
an
politician. The whole reason they want the purge to happen is to
So
take
did-
out the politician who wants to end the purge.
We can move on.
Okay.
And her,
It
her,
just
her
said-
private security in the Purge 4 is trying to go after the drunk driver who killed his daughter.
Right.
yeah.
I like that. That's what hungover Will is drawn to.
Violence.
That's- you wanna watch
Violence against poor people.
5
Glorious
seasons of class warfare.
Yeah. Well,
That's-
class warfare makes a lot of sense.
I know, but Bollywood does it so much more happy.
It explains
now
the
do
funny
you
hats
see
podcast.
why-
Oh man, we were hosting a roast the other night, and someone said that Jamal Rahal looks like a gangster in a Bollywood movie, which is just a
Wow,
If you
that's
don't-
not a
Slade
compliment.
Jr.
That's hey now.
That's your younger whatever.
He
Yeah,
may
people
look
keep
like
saying
a
that.
gangster in a Bollywood movie, but his name sounds like an NBA player, like a motherfucker. Jamal Rahal.
I know a dude named Corey Jamal that is a big 300-pound bald-headed white guy.
What?
That lives in Montgomery.
That was not the
He
second to the
fucks
last
black
word of
women.
that sentence.
He fucks black women like there's no tomorrow. His Tinder profile is just straight black chick, black chick, black chick.
The first time I met, he's like, "My name's Corey Jamal," and I was like, "No, no, I reckon it is."
I don't think I agree with
You know,
that.
as
Were you
Samuel
adopted?
Lester Damaris III, I think you should leave him alone. I think you should just leave him alone.
We should put a pin in this one. 870 in the can. Our guest, Will Loden, sitting in for Trey Tutson, kicking ass in Seattle. We hope the competition is going well for him this week. Of course it is. We'll see him in the fucking finals, or else we'll see him back here. But it's going to be in the finals. We know how this is going to go. And then we'll
Special's dropping November.
see him at the end. Your special is dropping in on Thanksgiving weekend, right? That is
November 27th.
November 27th. The Christmas show, December 17th. We'll have to update you on the lineup. I don't know what's going to happen now. Joe Breda in the house with the Old Humble Distilling Company, bringing us the Double Oak Rye that we have not had a chance to taste yet. We appreciate it. It will be in stores. It is picked up by trucks and taken to the store. That's how things happen. Picked up on trucks and then taken to stores. Soon you'll be able to go in and get them yourself. Yes? Thursdays on the Old Humble channel on YouTube. You are certainly looking for subscribers over there. He is always doing talk shows. I've done some conversation with you as
been
well.
on it once.
Jerry's been on it. I think Sam's been on it. There's lots of back episodes to watch, but also some ongoing episodes. Our good buddy Adam Taylor back there working all of the stations tonight, December 10th. Of course, the
can't see
premiere of Just the Bit. We're doing that at the Deluxe Theater here in Houston. Those tickets will be on sale very soon. Hosted by Jerry Wayne Longmire. Performances by myself, Chingo Bling. Are you going to be there?
Was it?
December 10th. Probably not. Who else is on it? Lisa Lyric will be there. So that will be and Billy?
No, Billy.
All right, so I'm just naming names. But in the show, myself, Sam Damaris, Dale Cheeseman, Billy D. Washington.
Oh, Dale's back in town for a little bit, or
No, he won't be in town, but he is on the pilot episode. So it's a lot of Whiskey Brothers blood in the show, a lot of what we're working on behind the scenes and everything else in
the
that
live
show
will
as
just
well.
Be you, me, and Chingo.
And Lisa. So, yeah, it'll just be that. But we're also going to be premiering the pilot. So 2 shows that night, December 10th. All of that information available on our Facebook page. And I think that covers it. You guys in the chat, we appreciate you. Always watching us on Twitch. We raise this final glass to you. We'll see you soon.
They don't want no problem. Nah.
Music provided by Scarface. Thank you for listening to yet another excellent episode of the Whiskey Brothers Podcast, the world's funniest podcast ever. The Whiskey Brothers Podcast
They don't
was
want
made in
no
America
problem.
by Americans,
Nah.
mostly in and around the Houston provided
area.
by
All content copyright
Thank you for listening to yet another excellent episode of the Whiskey Brothers Podcast, the world's funniest podcast ever. The Whiskey Brothers Podcast was made in America by Americans, mostly in and around the Houston area.
All content copyright the Whiskey Brothers.
This concludes our broadcast day. Goodbye.